Oh boy, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Guardrail.
We know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't need to do that.
Also, thank you, Darklink Returns, and Slightly Creative as well.
Goodness,
Thank you all
let me
so much.
back
And
up some.
Cosmogblade.
Thank you so much, Captain Ellie, for the Prime sub, and where did it go? Yanza, we appreciate y'all so much.
Let me continue some ground rules though. Once we get into the commentary, like, this has been a tiring weekend for us, so we're going to be rolling a bit. Thank you, Raxel, as well. So here's how it's going to work. We're going to be thanking people less as the watch-through starts. We're going to be talking on top of the footage to give neat little insights and behind-the-scene fun facts and favorite moments and such about the episodes we're watching. So this might not be a best first-time viewing experience as we're going to be talking over the whole thing. Thank you, DJ, for the bits. Also, when it gets to the music video playlist episodes that are about 20 minutes long, that's when we'll answer questions. Because the episodes are short, we're going to be rolling through those. Each season is only like 20 minutes long, so please hold any questions until the music videos
I won't be able
start.
to scroll back and read things. That's too much to focus on.
We're going to be watching along with you and not looking at chat while the episodes are going, and then when the playlist video starts, then we can answer questions and engage and that sort of thing. That's how we're doing it.
I do want to scroll up really quick and thank Hear Her Call for the kind words about how our analog horror pleasantly surprised you.
Again, usually we have more energy, we have fun background music and stuff when we stream, and we're very attentive of chat, but this is going to be like a fun, short, sweet anniversary experience.
Very janky, but we're here for it, and we really appreciate y'all being here for it.
Speaking of we're here
let me check.
for it.
200 of you. I shouldn't have checked that.
That might be a new record for us. But speaking of getting into it, hi guys.
Thank you. I know we just said we'd stop.
Cue up. This is silly.
Inker is the best. Thank you for the really, really nice words too.
Thank you all so much.
Francis is a silly guy, isn't he? Okay, we're focusing.
Y'all ready?
The convention's been so great. It's been such a long day. We ready?
Thank you guys for the congratulations and stuff.
Move the mic closer. Hello? Is this better?
Hi.
Words, things, stuff.
Alright, everyone tell us how we sound. You guys would be honest with us, right?
We're gonna start the video and you can tell us if it's too loud or whatever. So we'll do a test few seconds and then go from there.
No, you didn't issue, it's fine. Pet the cat again.
Uh-oh.
We'll probably not mention those, but still fulfill them as we see them. We might not see all of them. So if you want to also save your point redemptions for
Q&A time.
Yes. For anyone who just got in, we will answer questions once it gets to the music playlist videos. We won't be looking at chat while watching the things because we're going to be watching along with you all guys. Starting in right now. How's the audio? How's the audio? How's the audio? People tell us and then we'll start over. How's that audio? And then we'll do the commentary proper. Were you able to hear the little bit of music? A little bit loud? I can turn it just a smidge down, because then once they start talking, and we're all talking. Okay. I turned it a little down. Hey guys, second round of test. Last revision I'm going to do. How do we feel about the audio volume? How are we feeling? How's the audio? How are we feeling? Is that good? Seems fine to now? Still a little loud?
Still a little loud.
If it's a little loud, I can turn it down. Because, hopefully most of you in here have seen it before. So.
Okie doke. This is so janky.
Last bit.
It's gonna be really fun. Partially deaf, so maybe I don't have a say. I feel you.
Are we good? Is this good? We're going with this. I'm gonna restart it and then we're gonna go.
They said perfect.
I found something, iconic starting words. The font is Draxel on thefont.com.
Yeah, we
it has
wanted
a lot of public domain fonts, which is good.
We wanted something that was still pixely, but not the one everyone was using.
The VHS case was from a copy of Babe, and we just slipped a different cover in and took a horrible flash photo.
It was only 8.5 by 11, so it doesn't really fit it perfectly. Legal size paper is the perfect fit, so the first case was a little rough.
And what a classic premise. Something found at a thrift store / garage sale / what have you.
And we're just gonna go.
Yeah.
It started out so simple.
Angel
didn't
So
it?
Gabby.
simple. And
Oh, Angel Gabby.
I like the premise that Jonah wants to like show this to people as evidence instead of just like, why is this person even posting these online? And not everyone cares about those kinds of questions, but we're just like, his reason
morning,
for it
Francis.
is he's like, hey, I'm
I'd
not
love to hear
crazy.
you
I need
call.
other people to see what
Oh,
I'm
have you
seeing
brought
so
a
I
new
can have some
friend with you?
validation.
Yes, but I'm fearful, Angel Gabby. I never know what to say.
Oh,
That's
baby
okay,
boy's
Francis.
here. Thank you so
Meeting new people
much.
doesn't have
Thank
to
you.
be
We're
scary.
using your microphone.
Just introduce
it's
yourself
working
and
so
ask
well,
them to
thank
do
you.
the same.
But back to the commentary.
Sorry.
We wanted
Hello
these
there.
exchanges
My
to
name
be
is
like
Angel
nice and
Gabby.
efficient
What's yours?
and short and sweet, so that for one, you
That's
have
a
less
beautiful
information
name.
to retain
It's
during
wonderful to meet
comparison,
you, and I hope
and
we
for
can be
another, there's less to animate because animation takes a long time, and a lot of this
Fierce
story
never
was
showed
built
you,
off
Francis.
of efficiency.
I'll
This
show you
is one of the
someone
first
new.
scenes we came
First,
up
you
with, was
introduce
just this
yourself
simple,
and
simple
ask them
Dora
to
the
do the
Explorer
same.
exchange of, what's your name? Oh,
Hello
that's
there.
neat.
My
Versus,
name
what's
is
your
Angel
name?
Gabriel.
Oh,
What's
so-and-so.
yours?
That's beautiful. Like,
It's
that
wonderful
was,
to meet you,
we were
Jonah.
taking a walk
I
around
hope
our
I can be a
neighborhood
good
while
friend
coming
to
up
you.
with the idea, and that was one of the first scenes we thought of, and I'll mention when the second one comes up. And those two scenes were like the cornerstone of what we made the whole idea around.
Yeah, and this first hint of
Another
my
way
name
to
was
make
Jonah
friends
too,
is
to
to share
start
things you like.
you a little
Can
slow
you think of a toy
on.
or storybook
Yeah,
that's
it's,
special
she
to
just
you?
says a name. It happens to be my name.
That's
I don't
great.
know.
Sharing something
Just
important
so you don't
lets
say
others learn
everything
about what
outright, but you
makes
start
you
those
special.
seeds planted and those implications swirling.
Oh, you like the close-up of her pupil movement? Those are the kind of little touches we absolutely love. We're suckers for those kind of details in animation. And like, so half of it is us researching a style and falling in love with it and
That's a
learning
great
its little
book.
quirks. The other thing
Just
is
like
knowing
Babe,
what we're
you can
already in
grow up
love
to do
with from when
whatever
we
you
were
want,
growing up
Jonah.
and adding
That's what
things
makes
we
you
liked
special.
to see as kids. So
And
it's neat.
since it's simpler animation and simple characters, those little movements are able to stand out a lot because Gabby's face is only made of a few pieces, and one of the bigger ones are her eyes. So you're gonna see that little twitch because it's not some like big busy thing where everything is moving.
And since the premise is so simple and since the animation is so tight, we could spare energy for those specific details.
Mac Rosenberg, incredibly talented character designers. Steph and Vitamin, incredibly talented voice actors.
And everyone clap for the patrons.
Clap for the patrons. That's going to
Yay!
be consistent throughout. Oh, look at that. Francis Makeshift Campaign. Who put
Oh
that
no, don't
there?
autoplay.
Don't look at our recommendations.
Oh
no.
no.
Not our trash sense of taste.
Oh no. Not the Duck Duck Bots.
So, one thing that we really look for with each episode's script is what question does it ask and what hook does the end have. So, for
Right quick, Yas asked if we could just turn it down a scooch a little
Here,
bit
go.
more.
this way, and then there. Okay,
We'll see
yeah,
how
we
this
can do
goes.
that. So, for each episode, it's like what mystery can we set up and what little hook can we end it on, so that you get new information each time, and then there's also like an immediate motivation to watch the next episode. And it's also a nice way to just have a framework for structuring them instead of just, I don't know what should happen this episode. Having any kind of loose formula helps brainstorms be easier because you can just start with like, okay, question new information.
Real quick, best character, the Cloud, just entered. Give him some
We got
respect.
that yawn off of freesound.org.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's just like one of our story writing approaches. We literally just had a grid with those three things on it of like
It's simple.
question new information,
Simple.
question new information, hook, and just outlined all 6 episodes.
Which helps because then when you're building the story, you can figure out, okay, what is this episode's question? What is its hook? And that helps us figure out how to build it in a way that's compelling and keeps people watching. Francis with his iconic honey. His makeshift plush will be live in October. We hope.
If you look at the top of the tree there, you can see the beehive that he got his honey from. That's some
You will need strength to be resilient.
background art decor.
Something we really liked adding with the animation too is the subtle little tremble on the camera, as though, you know, it's old. They didn't have a sturdy rig. It's someone standing there being like, oh.
Well, and if it's just like frame by frame animation, which ours isn't necessarily imitating, then each like time you had to reset the camera and click for a new frame, like it wouldn't always be perfectly centered how it was. But our animation is actually specifically trying to emulate Jack Ryan shows.
Really quick, sorry. He said his catchphrase, oh, despair.
Dang it.
Subs, put the crying Francis emote in the chat. Whee!
So it's a guy who made like 80s PBS shows that are actually paper puppets that he would live action puppet and record. So it's not frame by frame animation or rigged animation, it was like live in camera paper puppets.
Look
and
at
I
all
love
the
it.
sad Francis emotes.
So many Sad Francises. You should subscribe so you can get Sad Francis. But another thing I like about Gabby's character, specifically earlier when she's talking about the sun and how it can burn you, is she's very sweet, but she can also be firm. And during casting,
right quick.
during casting, it was important for us to find someone who could do a cartoony voice for just the in-character "I'm Gabby" moments, but also could do that like more grounded, maternal, like it's okay, let's get through this kind of voice. And some people who auditioned would be good at one or good at the other, and of course, Steph was beautiful.
Beautiful at both. I just wanted to pause it because this is the second scene that we thought of on that walk around the block where it's like, this is going to be the cornerstone of our analog horror, is the name and, like, we just, at the time it was just eerie lessons. What if they were teaching them things kids shouldn't know? Like, jamming a chair under your door to keep someone from opening it since you're just a little kid and there's something big on the other side.
And then it doesn't like tell you what's happening in the home, but you're already thinking like, oh no, why does he have to keep someone out? And it like, that kind of tells you all you need to know. We don't have to have this big outline of details. We just give you these implications that you can fill in yourself to kind of build the larger story in your head based on the little key things we give you.
Oh, Steph's in the chat. Steph Oddix is the voice actor.
Everyone say hi, Steph, and tell her she did a wonderful job.
She loves attention and fame, so be sure to say hi.
Fun fact, at Film Festival in Utah, when Gabby says, let's take a deep breath, we were able to hear the audience inhaling and exhaling.
That was
alongside
amazing.
Gabby.
Such a dang cool moment.
And of course, this is the horrible introduction of some mysterious key character that gives you as much information as you have to know about Jonah's family life and home life.
And we're only 2 episodes in. And we've already established something's weird. She's telling him weird lessons. There's a he. We've established a villain. Concept was first, the villain was second.
Yeah, and this is over the course of like.
Wait, clap for the patrons! Clap for the patrons! Oh, not half in the bag. No!
No, it's okay.
Oh!
Ready for something iconic, guys? It's time for Letters with Gabby.
This is one of our favorite unique things to the show, is getting y'all involved. And it took an episode for folks to figure out what was going on. Plus, we were so small back then. So we barely had anyone actually submit questions. We're not watching half in the bag. Just derail the whole stream.
And just, like, we like to be, analog horror, creepy, unsettling, but just on an entertainment level, the charismatic, loving host, Gabby, isn't here, and instead is sheepish, awkward, but doing his best, Francis.
Doing his bestest.
Anyway, there's certainly more angel hairs out there.
And our favorite part about the questions is just finding unique ways to give y'all more information about the world in a way that's like in-universe, feels natural. It is expository, but it gives us a breath from the action. It lets y'all engage directly with the material, and it lets us give it pockets.
And fun fact, that second person, Stephanie, who asked about the demon hairs, is the voice actress, because we literally only got 2 questions on the first episode, and she was kind enough to be one of them. Our pinned comment said, do you have questions you want to write into the show? But we needed 1 episode of very few questions for people to realize what was going on. And then when they saw your questions are getting read by Francis,
like she said in the chat, Steph's responsible for demon hairs.
But once people saw, it's actually getting read on the show, ever since then we get tons of questions.
Which I love. I love that it established it so quick. It was really fun.
And this was ad-libbed by Venomin. He just included it with the audio, and it was lovely and fit in with the lore that we had. So
clap for the patrons.
Clap for the patrons.
Clap for the patrons. And we're not going to watch Red Letter Media.
Nope, we're not.
Love them, but not tonight.
See how short these episodes are, though?
Someone asked what the song was.
Oh, the one at the end of his thing is Giovanni something's, it's
Do you want me to find it?
Yeah, I can find it real quick. And in the meantime,
We're so
you
used
talk
to getting
about
that question.
how important efficient writing is. As soon as you answered your message.
Sorry. My dad asked for the stream link. Love him.
Now tell them the importance of having efficient, short, tight episodes while I find the song title.
It's... You put me on the spot with really crafting story stuff. It can be really, really tempting when you build a world to talk about it a lot. Darkling Returns. Answer quick and in depth. It can be so tempting to say, I've built this world, I want to explore all of it right now. I think it's more intriguing to do two things. For one, only tell people what's necessary, and for another, tell them indirectly. Our brother early on put it in a very succinct way, where instead of giving you 4, we're giving you 2 + 2. It's still an easy equation, but you get to say, oh, 2 + 2, I know the answer, instead of just being given, 4, moving on. Like, it's just that little thing you get to connect. And since we're doing such tight little episodes, we get to let you really focus on what are the pieces, how do they connect, what is the direct string, instead of meandering around and giving us more to animate.
And also from a practicality point of view, we have to animate it, so we have to be very judicious with what we want to spend hours animating. And
not yet.
Where were we?
Did we not just finish this? Oh, no, my bad. You already had it up.
Excuse you. So just from a work point of view, like how tight can the writing be? How efficient can we have it so that we don't have to animate more than we need to? Thank you, Flak Racket. I pulled it up. It's the song at the end of the letters video is Giovanni Crochet's Cantado Domino. And Flak Racket also put it in chat so you have the actual words to search it.
Yes.
Let's keep going.
I love the folks in chat saying how the weird places they're watching from. That's crazy. It's so surreal.
So yeah, already on episode 3, but we already have so much information. We've been introduced to all the main characters.
We have a villain, a mystery, a hook. Those tapes, we copied VHS labels, cut them out, and put fake things on them and stuck them on.
Those were
blank
printed
VHSs.
out and replicated.
Yeah.
You wield that sword.
This
We
is
love
Gabby's
making props.
iconic armor. She wears them in the trading cards that we sold during the Kickstarter and are currently selling at Spooky Empire Horror Convention. And this is just an example of like the real show just had really simple, straightforward lessons so that when we want to change up the writing, it was already a simple to intake and ingest thing, so any changes can be really obvious and stand out. Like it's not some big layered VeggieTales narrative of, oh, the characters are playing characters and that kind of thing. And also just the seriousness of she had to stop in her tracks is an important character moment to tell you this is a big deal to her. And like the extremely direct engagement she has here is also just a big moment in the show. Like there's not really any doubt about it there. She's not trying to weave this into the narrative. She felt like she had to step in.
Now that we've got the pieces apart, let's think of some.
Real quick, somebody said ad. Are people getting ads? I didn't run an ad. We shouldn't have ads. Maybe they just joined. Sorry. Anyway, this is another case of 2 + 2 instead of 4. She never says what she's talking about, what object was on the table. But you're given enough clues that you can allude, okay, I get what's happening. And it's not like really elaborate. It's just enough to say it's off screen, but you understand.
Yeah. The music sounds different than the original songs because we slowed them down about 70%.
Are you the creator? Yes, we are. We're the Mangan sisters.
I'm the main animator. We both co-create and write everything, though.
Yeah. So, another interesting thing about this episode is, dang it, let me remember. Oh,
I'm not supposed to answer questions till the Q&A.
I'm sorry. For those who just joined, during the music playlists, that's when we'll answer questions. Until then, we're just gonna roll and commentate.
But we're like halfway there already.
So, I was going to say, I like when we give her moments like incriminating. Oh, sorry, we'll learn that word later. Just to remind you, like, Jonah is a child in this. You have a one-sided conversation, and we need to, like, be given context clues from her about what state he's in during this.
Mm-hmm. And here's, like, Frances being half off-screen and just trying to stick to the script while Gabby's off doing her own thing.
Does that mean I'm extra honest?
Poor Francis, he's so pure.
And a lot of people think Jonah's conversation gets in the way, but I really think it's important to include his frame of mind of him, like, sure, we're learning about his past, but in the present, he's like, wait, she was helping me. How do I get this back? What, like, the shift of his mentality of being concerned to being like, I have a goal now, I need to find her. It's important. Clap for the patrons! Clap for the patrons!
Everyone clap for patrons. They make all of this possible. Those
Truly.
beautiful
Getting to pay our
saints.
voice actors, getting to pay musicians, the patrons are, they make...
Getting to pay them without having to do, like, commissions and stuff on the side to break even.
Just getting to focus on the animation is really, 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 really nice. Alright. This is... Which episode are we on already?
4. Yeah, this is a fun one because it kind of goes back a little bit to those basics of what's the lesson of the episode and how is Gabby using those lessons to communicate without totally breaking script. She's still using the framework and the vessel because, you know, like a child watching it still has to understand that this is a show he's engaging with and the story's happening, but she's able to kind of play with that to her benefit and kind of has wiggle room to work around the, like, original script.
Do you think we should forgive Francis now that he's apologized? We should.
Yes, please. He's so desperate.
Shows a lot of
And I love how even in this later episode, he's still comparing the tapes. Like in 3, we spent most of it, we pretty much just stayed on the recording, but here we're comparing again to say, here is the bog standard lesson, here's how she just twisted it a little bit to show, here's what's going on in his life, here's this context of his state in the home.
But also for story efficiency, why would we be redundant? Why would we show comparisons again? Well, because this time he's concerned about what exactly it is she's telling him. So he's showing you the comparison to be like, this isn't what it originally was, and then the reason for it is because she's getting a little heavier this time, and why was she telling me this instead?
And again, the 2 + 2 thing, she never uses the word alibi. We do let Jonah clarify that, just because he's kind of realizing it as you are. Like the second she implies it and you're like, oh, is when Jonah pops up and it's like, yeah, that, which is beautifully demonstrated in Nightmine's stream when he live reacted and had that exact reaction, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it works. It really works.
Also, just for the animation end, notice how few pieces each of them are made of, but how much they can still express. Like, Gabby's whole face is just static mouth flaps and eyes, and then it's little head tilts and things that can accentuate the lines that matter.
So, something that was important to us when we were looking for footage to use for the flood is just on a personal creator note, I really didn't want to manipulate something real where people actually suffered harm. So finding flood footage and then researching where did this come from, were there fatalities, because I don't want to
exploit something actual, and like, so that was just a incident of, I believe, like, just a sewage main did something and a couple streets were out of commission for a bit while they fixed it up. But we went through a few of, like, we don't want to exploit actual stuff for our entertainment YouTube
not for
series.
a little narrative.
It's weird to us.
Didn't feel tactful.
Also, post-humors, clap for the patrons.
Clap for the patrons.
We did see the Wendigoon reaction.
We were there for half of it. It was
Yeah.
really great. We got to watch season 2 live.
Tape 5, a personal favorite of mine, a mixed bag for some people because there isn't any Gabby animation in it, but that's because this is Jonah's story too, and like, if the show can't tell him anymore, who can? Well, it was there for his childhood. Go back to his childhood.
Patreon gang rise up. So another interesting thing about 5 is we had the title in the outline, like footage not found, but all we knew was something interrupts this tape. For a long time, the note was just
add a montage here.
And we didn't know what that would be. We didn't quite know what would happen. And then we decided, okay, it'll be like this flashback that transitions to his focus to the now. But the cut together wasn't working until we found the song.
Mm-hmm. Which actually the first song we had pegged for this was either like Firewalker, or the person who played the mom was our mom.
She's very proud of it.
It's some kind of classical music piece called either Fire Ritual or Firewalk or something similar to that. You would know it if you heard it. It's like a slowly ramping up, like dun 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 kind of thing. And we were like, okay, that has like some increase of pace, but the beat isn't quite like good for editing. There's not a lot of individual cues. And then we found Valencia Zero.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Creative Commons artist. I think Orphaned Media is his album on Free Music Archive, and he has a whole bunch of cool stuff there. And this song, My Childhood Days, is a banger, and I would recommend looking into all of his stuff, because anyone who makes public domain free use music just for other people is amazing.
And it was important to us that the music like not distract but still add to the emotional moments of each episode.
The footage is from a collection of different archive.org sources that are all like different old child psychology videos, or some of them are just really kind of jankily old. I think the different little Peter Rabbit bits are from some kind of Nestle sponsored kids fairy tale thing we dug up. That if I had my hard drive with me, I could dig up the actual title for. But a lot of it you can just find if you just search around. And it cut together in a really fun way, especially with some of the audio that was already in it, where it's like people were talking about weird stuff. Deck choice, unfortunately, we're not going to turn the series up because for this stream's intents and purposes, our commentary is the main thing, and you can go watch it on YouTube if you want to hear the show better. So I just really like the energy that this lands on. Of Jonah is like, okay, I'll do it myself. I don't really want to get my mom involved, and none of the other evidence is going to lead anywhere because she already followed all the dead ends. I gotta take my own path on this one.
Yeah, it was really cool to have him focus on the path. Oh, clap for the patrons!
Clap for the patrons!
Clap for the patrons! It was really cool to focus on a bit more of his personal side of things after dwelling on the past and Gabby's side so much.
And now, more Francis. We love to see it.
And by now, we had way more questions to pull from.
I'm afraid Angel Gabby couldn't be here today.
So,
she's so thrilled with all the
when we're picking questions, because I know a lot of people asked and theirs didn't get picked. It's a combination of like things that add to it without giving away too much, but still give like fullness to the world and give you something new to think about, while also not being too silly. And it's fun trying to tactfully go through that selection and think of like the world, what the characters would make sense to answer, and that kind of thing. And it's really funny fun when I can read a question and be like, oh, I have a great answer to that. That's gonna be a good one.
Let's see.
Oh, a little bit of butchiness. That's weird. What's going on?
And this is another thing of like sort of setup and punchline, where first letter's video, it's a little innocuous, but it goes fine. Second one, you think you know what to expect, and then we barely tweak it, and it just makes it fun to establish something. Like with episode 1, you have the concept. Episode 2, oh, now there's a villain. Now there's something he forgot. Letters 1, it's questions and answers. Letters 2, oh, we get some weird questions. It's not quite as typical.
And Loki, this is probably the most like analog horror we get in the whole show, is when Francis starts glitching out, because we really don't have much like gore jump scare.
Did we miss it? The Doom Gamer question? Was Doom
Gamer's in chat.
He's here now.
Everyone who loves that as a comedic beat, Francis saying Doom Gamer 3000.
He's here now.
Next is a letter from
for people who weren't here at the beginning, we're going to answer questions during the music video, so hold them for that, please.
What a funny question. We get our letters through the mail like everyone else, Frog. And they come
Gabby mansplaining video.
Stop
Sorry. Commentate.
So Francis is just like, in general, this delightful, just doing his best guy, and he makes mistakes because Gabby needs lessons to teach. So someone has to make mistakes so you can show them the right way to do it.
One of our favorite things about Francis glitching out was thinking of practical ways the animation could have messed up if it were being really made, and trying to make it not like blah jump scary.
So it's like, the background art and the character assets are getting a little mixed up. Whoopsie doodle.
The whole our sense of horror for the show is that deep, unsettling nature that keeps creeping up and poking at you, giving you this sense of something's not right here. I'm waiting for something to go wrong, without it being like and bloody eyes and everything. I think that's a more interesting. Here's more ad lib from the voice actor, not being
pronounce
able
his own name. It's not really running gag, just a recurring problem in the server of wait, how do you pronounce Veneman? And what I just said is my take on it. I don't know if I know the
I don't know if we've actually confirmed with him how to say Veneman. We just both say it like that. Oh, what's this? That's weird. Another letter. How did that get there?
It got there because one of the Discord members, that was back when our audience was so much smaller during season 1 that we could do smaller, more personalized Easter eggs and stuff. And
hurry up and open the next thing. I don't like the sidebar stuff.
Don't look at our recommendeds. We have trash taste. Oh boy, time for an iconic episode. I hope y'all have the tissues. Whoopsie doodle.
Where were you when you first watched tape 6?
Fun fact, this episode is one of our most viewed, and it's also not monetized because of the music choice, but we
thought it was
find
worth
a replacement.
it. Yeah, and in our most recent season, we did try to be more careful about where we got our music from.
Because this was 2 years ago when we were new to YouTube, and we were just if YouTube doesn't flag it, then we can use it, right? And these days, we're more educated now. We were kids doing our best.
We have
adults doing better.
But for the festival cut of season 1 that patrons have access to, where we took out all of the text and put a live action Jonah actor in there instead, we did replace all of the music to make sure it was acceptable for streams.
And just little montage stuff to give you more kind of flavor of the show you've already seen and what Jonah remembers before you also, Jonah, have to confront what is Gabby gonna be like now though? Is this gonna be okay? That whole thing of I remember what my childhood friend used to be like, but I also haven't seen them in a while. Will they recognize me? What are their intentions, or what were their intentions?
Yeah, and a fun fact, quite a lot of people play Jonah's hands throughout the show.
We have many actors for Jonah, based on who's available at the time. Oh, she's a little uncertain. Why is this adult watching her kids' cartoon?
And this is one of our first, or I guess there was tape 5, but the live action element where we really focused on the interaction. Here it comes.
It's
oh
me.
My gosh.
Jonah, I'm here.
The following 2D animation took about as long to animate as the whole rest of the show did.
For the frame-by-frame smoothness, yeah. And we got the dithering glitch effect from a TikTok filter.
Because it was Premiere Pro couldn't quite do it. Claps for patrons? Wait, not quite. Claps for patrons.
Claps for patrons. Claps for patrons.
Roger Hanna, who voices Jonah for this last little bit. Until you call again.
That's weird.
That's weird. That's so weird. That's so strange. What a weird thing at the end of a show, at the end of the credits. Who are those ears?
Aren't we so rambunctious?
Crud, what was I saying right before I saw that?
Roger Hanna?
Yes, he plays live action Jonah in the festival cut.
Yeah.
For any patrons who want to go have access to that. So, this is our first Q&A portion. Hi guys, what a fast 20-minute season that accomplished so much. How you all doing?
How are we doing?
Mental check-in. Are we crying?
Let's ask some questions. Let's answer some questions.
Yeah.
And if questions peter out before the music video's done, we can move on, but...
Because we're also...
Oh, we got one. Hold on. Dark Ink Returns. Having Gabby introduce herself as Gabriel instead of Gabby to Jonah instead of the tape. she's always Gabby throughout the rest of the series.
That was another way to add juxtaposition between that first introduction of the two differences. Like, it's subtle. It's just like she says the name back, and then she says her name is Gabriel, and that's to show you that this is personalized, and this is a little more like detailed and serious. This isn't as like cuddly and friendly.
Some ground rules for the Q&A. We don't answer lore questions or character questions. So production things, story things, we love. If you're asking, like, what happened to Jonah as a kid, who's the third angel, that's spoilers, guys. We can't answer that.
Yeah, that's stuff that you can infer and make theories on. What's the fun if we just tell you?
And asking questions like, what's Gabby's favorite flavor of ice cream? We don't really like answering those either, because what if we say strawberry, and then you hate strawberry, and now you hate something about Gabby?
Oh, it's Francis. Bye, Francis.
Help!
Okay, let me scroll up and see more questions. Okay.
Here, I'll manage questions. You just vibe with the chat. Yeah, we can't answer who the third angel is. We can't answer what did she do. We can't answer how she knew how to take apart whatever was in.
The questions are for production stuff, creator commentary behind the scenes.
Why did we get into the analog horror genre is a good one.
Wendigoon covered Monument Mythos, and I was like, these are some simple assets. This is efficient storytelling. If the concept is good, you can use pretty minimal visuals.
We have another channel called The West Patch, where we were 3 episodes into a different animated sort of horror, what's the word? Like, I can't remember it. Transmedia type of show. But we took it to festivals. It did well. We got producers interested in it, and it's on hiatus while it's on a pitch contract. So Angel Hare was originally just what's a quick full series of efficient, doable episodes we can do while we wait on that. So when we saw horror analog reviews, analog horror, sorry. And we saw like the assets and the efficiency of the storytelling. We were like, that's perfect for an efficient, tight little series that we can finish and wrap up all in one go, release on a weekly thing. Sounds great.
We need to be faster with the answers. If we
Sorry.
What's next?
Hello from Sleepy Toe Pizza and wife. Oh, your wife, DJ! Yeah, DJ did all of our Russian translations. We really appreciate you. Who was the animator you mentioned as an inspiration before? It was before Volume was turned down.
Jack Ryan. He did the show Mary Mungo and Midge and also Captain Pugwash for like 80s PBS cartoons. I'm pretty sure it was Jack Ryan. It was something Ryan. It might have been John. But his stuff is really cool if you see any of the behind the scenes stuff, because it's literally just little paper cutouts that he's manipulating in real time while just recording it. So it's like live version of Flash animation, I suppose.
Will this stream be saved? We will save it. There will be a VOD for a little while. We'll decide if we want to do anything on the channel. We usually save channel stuff for...
if you want to archive it, do it yourself. We don't like to keep...
We might. I'll think of it. It's a special occasion.
Maybe.
What was the thought process in writing Jonah's text? I was always impressed and fascinated at how we get to see the descent and mixture of emotions with just text and the live action footage, plus that wonderful snippet in season 1's ending.
A lot of it is just like get you a little bit inside his head, but still only what someone would realistically be comfortable sharing. So he keeps it kind of curt, but he's still a bit reactionary, and he's still just like, guys, I don't know, and stuff like that. So it's just like coming at it from just a realistic human approach, and then also just like what's going to be good storytelling beats for his realization process.
Yeah. What do you think of the Demon Hair OCs? I love fan arcs. I love fan art. I love fan fiction. I love y'all's fan characters so much. I love when you share them. I love when you make up wild, weird stories about them. It's really great. How did you choose or find the music? Some of these themes seem really obscure. So, if you go to musicarchive.org and you sort by media and you sort by audio and you go through their filter system and very carefully select only like a set of decades, 1 year at a time, between
like 1900 and 1942, and then they search keywords
like angel and mercy and guilt, and then you listen to lot of them.
A lot of hours were spent sourcing music.
Childhood Days, I think, was the hardest to find, just because Tape 5 was so different in when we were looking for, but it was really, really tricky. Are we going to see more wild hair Gabby? That's a lore question I'm afraid we can't answer. How did you manage to discover the amazing music for the OST? Just answer to that.
That's a character question, but her slitting the demon hair's throat, merch art isn't canon. I do what I think will be fun, and I wanted to do a very metal shirt. So in our Teespring store, Gabby's attacking a demon hair with a knife. What's the little code?
You guys are so amazing. This series had such an impact on me, made me a better person. Will there be any opportunities to buy a Gabby plush?
There will be future ones. We've got a fulfillment center though, so that we don't have to package it all like we're doing for the Kickstarter.
If you go to the plushie ad video, which we'll watch later, there's a link under there to get on a mailing list where you will be notified when we add plushies later this year. So if you want more plushies, it's going to be the pre-order. You wait for production. You wait, like it's going to take a minute, but they are going to come back. Yes, we won't ship them, so you won't be waiting.
Is that going to bring up the Teespring store?
I think so.
Yeah, there we go. You can find like all the cool stuff that I make for myself, and then also sell to you guys.
The record player. Did you buy it for the show, or did you already own one?
That came from my grandfather and is now owned by our dear mother, who we live in the basement of.
So that was a convenience that really, really struck right. There have been some questions in this chat about whether the stream will be archived or saved. Answer to that. Thank you, Steph. What was your favorite scene and what was the most emotionally moving? This is Russell, the cosplayer from the con. Hello. Loved your cosplay. Loved the brilliant photo you put in the Discord. Loved meeting you. You're a lovely person. Our favorite scene?
I really enjoy stuff that's fun to animate, so any heightened character moments are really fun, where Gabby will shift between a couple things or stuff like that. Either that or fun, silly stuff like in the Easter tape that we're gonna get to next, when she's annoyed at Francis and her whole body just as one piece shakes to show her being mad. I eat up that kind of low budget stuff where it's just PNG goes jitter.
Who's the fourth angel is a lure question. Fourth angel.
Don't read all
What's my favorite flavor of ice cream? Let me see.
ETA for plushings is coming back right now is later this year.
Yeah,
we're gonna
it will be this year, we think, but later. I think we have a handle on it. We're figuring it out. Were there any analog horror tropes you were trying to use or trying to avoid?
Yes, the whole thing is kind of a play on tropes. It's here's the mascot horror character who's going to, sorry, I think we might have. Raid!
Nick Nocturne?
Hi, guys! We just got through season 1 of our commentary. Sorry.
We're doing a Q&A during the music video.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, everyone say hi to Nick Nocturne of Nightmind fame.
How's our favorite demon cat doing?
Hi.
I'm so glad this is a cruddy webcam so you can't see how red I'm getting.
We're traveling for a convention right now, so the whole setup is scuffed. Hi guys!
We're on our janky low budget. We borrowed a microphone from someone who saw us at the convention and anyway.
We're running out of question time.
Nick's doing wonderful. How are we? Nervous as heck now. Thanks.
Hi,
thanks for joining the anniversary. I have no idea.
Tropes, yes.
Analog horror tropes.
We wanted people to go in thinking this is going to be a mascot horror show and she's going to be an evil bunny so that it would be very easy to trick you all with her being nice the whole time. Because everyone expects the cute character these days to grow a giant mouth and eat something. So we were just what if she's just straight up? What if it's fine?
And, religion equals scary is such a cornerstone of horror. And you're what if the scary thing is
religious cult, upside down cross, Bible so that later demon, that kind of stuff. And we're Christian, we were what if some positive representation?
Not in a preachy way, just an aesthetic that's not the core of the horror. It's lurking somewhere else. Ooh. What inspired us to make Angel Hare? Well, we were just looking for a show during that hiatus, like we talked about with the West Patch. So
you can go back in the VOD for some of these answers.
Yeah.
Thanks again, the Nightmine or Nick Nocturne. Sorry, crew.
Were there any concepts we considered but dropped? I don't think so. I think our list already was very small because we knew this was going to be a tight little show. that we were gonna like spare no extra fluff on, aside from the fun fluff. But anyway, so we already knew it was gonna be pretty minimal. So we really built the script from the format of our requirements and resources instead of making a lot of ideas off the bat.
Right.
Favorite song used within this series?
Childhood Days, probably.
I think it's Childhood Days.
It's a bop. And again, shout out to Quincy Zero. If you search My Childhood Days, Days spelled like D-A-Z-E, you'll find him in the rest of his music, and he does really cool public domain albums and stuff of all different genres.
So many freaking Nick Nocturne Raiders.
We're gonna get back to the commentary as soon as this music video portion is done, or we might pause that and go through questions as fast as we can.
Zero, that's a Laura question, sorry.
We're answering production and behind the scene questions exclusively.
Albus, we did answer what the Letters video song was. If you wouldn't mind going back so we don't have to spend time reiterating. I'm sorry.
Character question, lore question. Was season 2 always meant to be about
Gabby going missing? So, when we were writing it, the only thing we knew was Gabby's going missing for a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
First, I thought it was a really interesting story idea.
And the Easter tape, like, we wanted to leave it like something that's going to establish conflict to look forward to, but be open enough we had room to adjust the writing as we were finding the idea.
Yeah. The second reason was because I do a lot of things to amuse myself, and since so many people were attached to Gabby, I was like, what if we did a whole other season where
What if we take her away from you?
What if she's not there? Will people still like it if their little bunny they love isn't there? Yeah, sorry. Are the TikTok versions of the story canon? Yes. We did
TikTokified it a bit.
For the first season.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was how we got a lot of our original audience. Was she always a rabbit or hare?
Yes. Bunnies are cute.
And Francis was not always a badger. In the script, he was just a forest friend, and we figured that out later.
There he goes getting his little hot air balloon pie, Francis.
Did we remake the music when we made it? You've heard the original and it sounds different? No, we found it all from other people in the first season. Sorry, I'm trying to
field questions as we go. I'm seeing so much engagement from the readers. Thank you all so much.
Honestly, this is amazing. Holy cow. Why is Gabby portrayed as a female when Gabriel and other, like in the Bible, is actually a boy? Did it have something to do with her being a mother-like figure for Jonah?
That, and like Gabby's a cute name, and sometimes it doesn't go super deep. I'll just be upfront. There are cool reasons we're able to expand on things later, but a lot of early decisions will just be like, this is cute, or this is neat, or this is fun. And like Gabby is just a really cute little mouthful of a name. And it can expand into Gabriel, which is like one of the most recognizable angel names, so anyone who's not too privy to Christian lore will immediately like kind of make that connection.
Yeah. Ace Twitch, we already answered that question. All the merch is not canon. It's just fun designs we think are neat.
But I will link the merch store again.
What inspired us to make it? We've already answered that, if you wouldn't mind going back in the VOD. What is your golden piece of production advice for a new filmmaker? Great question.
Mine is scope. Make it something you know you can do with your current resources, and that
can be a brilliant way to force yourself to be creative. When you know what your limitations are and you have to work in those, like, okay, I only have my backyard that's a forest. What's a narrative in a forest that I can make unique and interesting with what I've got? I have 2 friends. That means I got 2 actors. What's a story with 2 people I can do?
I'm an animator. I have limited time. What's an old style that has a lot of shortcuts I can use, and a story that we can tell really efficiently?
Yeah, and the other thing is, it doesn't have to be perfect. Your first ever project, you're still learning so much, and you'll learn so much for the next one. If you have like an 80% solution and you're happy with it, don't sit there and pick forever and forever and forever making a 100% perfect thing. It'll never get there, or it'll take you so long. Finish it. Now you've learned. The next thing will be a little better, and keep doing that forever and ever. Keep making stuff.
We're on Take 5's music now, so we're gonna have to answer in silence after this for a bit of a speed
What software did we use on the production?
Photoshop for background art and assets, Toon Boom Harmony Pro for animation, Premiere Pro for editing. Lore questions are not allowed. We're answering production and behind-the-scene questions.
Have all the Kickstarter packages been shipped?
Not
No.
yet.
We're very far. We have like a third left though.
And as soon as we get back from this convention, we're going to be able to steamroll a lot
Yes,
of
there was a delay on the activity books. Everyone with cozy bundles and I Want Everything had to wait. I'm so sorry. We're working so hard. It takes so much time.
There's two of us, man, and we wanted to make the fun music video a few weeks back.
How do we manage to get out of creative block when you feel like you've hit a wall? That's when we take a walk around our block with a couple questions we want to answer by the end of it, and we see what we can do. Did we do anything special to the voices? They really catch your ear. You're not sure if it's because of the mics, voice talent, or something else.
Combination. The voice talent is really great, and there's a aging filter I found a tutorial for that just adds like a little bit of a kind of lighter edge to it that I like. The voice actors carry a lot of the show. You highlight your text purple by redeeming channel points. Why did we decide for the secretary to be a fox? Because it was a cute pun for the name, Foxine. And also, Foxine is pretty foxy herself. Have you met her?
And badgers and foxes cannot, like in real life, often partner up for their predator systems cooperate really well, so they can be seen in pairs. So it was really cute. Is Gabby an angel? That is a lore question. You just said you knew that.
We already answered. If we had the record player ahead of time, you can go back and find that.
Third season. What third season? We're working on Rot right now. That's a lore question, A-Stwitch. And please remember to ask PG-13 or appropriate questions, please. Can we talk a little bit about our creative backgrounds? Quickly, we can.
I started in graphic design and then switched and got my bachelor's in animation.
And I have a bachelor's in fine arts and a master's in screenwriting.
And I spent a couple years at a professional animation studio doing network shows for like Netflix and HBO Max, and such, and Rachel
did freelance writing for a long time.
Yeah, for movies and such and such.
And we both got really unhappy and started making our own things instead. Is Gabby a rabbit or a hare? Good question. Next. Do you have a favorite character or a favorite to draw or write? I love them all, honestly. The Cloud is pretty amazing. The Cloud in episode 2.
Francine's underrated is all I'll say.
Francine is really
favorite part of making the series. I really enjoy animating, but also when like the editing starts wrapping up and all the pieces start really coming together.
Hansa asked, how does it feel knowing the show has been almost cathartic for some people in dealing with personal stuff? I'll admit watching the first season took me the better part of a day because I had to stop several times due to how close it hit to home.
The short version for time is overwhelmingly humbling.
Yes, the emails some people send to us, it's so beyond what we anticipated and meant for the show. And it's heartwarming and it gets me teary, and my dad has cried before thinking about how much it's meant to.
Keeping going, what made you decide to go for an angel character? I feel it was interesting you went down the path of an analog horror show but focused on a Christian cartoon show. We're a Christian, we feel like it doesn't always get non-negative representation, so we didn't want to be preachy, but we just wanted to show like Christian imagery without the purpose of it being creepy or demon bait.
It's just there.
Yeah.
How's the Gabby cardboard cutout? Beautiful. 5 feet tall and amazing.
Come to the convention, meet us, see
Some people have posted pictures. It's really great. Did you have Zag planned since season 1? No. Every season we plan for it to be complete, and everything after that are cool ideas we made later, because we don't want to plant anything that y'all will have to sit on for ages and ages and ages until we bring it up later.
We'll do like some things that can be cliffhangers, like his ears at the end. We had like some inklings of ideas, but it's just ears. It's just there's a different character, or Gabby is dark, or something that leaves it very open-ended, so that we can have a lot of room to change that idea later if we want. But when the 3 portraits came up at the time, that was fun. Francis Letters flavoring.
Yep. If we could change anything in season 1, what would it be?
In season 1? Gosh, that's hard.
I like it so much.
Yeah, I don't know if I would. I'm extremely satisfied with season 1. Maybe make the footage of the outside of Jonah's house a little less dark. Sometimes I'm like, you can barely see the cat and the door.
That's fair. What is Jonah's mother's doctorate in? That's a
lore question.
Yeah. Are we still making the show, or is it discontinued?
We're working on Rot right now. We're taking a break for other ideas. There's a lot of Angel here. Go enjoy it.
All right. Lore questions.
Uh-oh.
Music videos. Oh,
Okay,
no.
I'm gonna go back a bit so there's still
We'll
something
try and
to
get through what
listen
we
to.
have now, and then we gotta keep rolling.
So the last one I just saw was... I have a mental note of it. Okay.
Okay. All right.
And we'll go faster.
Let me see.
Come to a close.
We're not making the full Angel Hair episodes. I'm sorry. It's
I
not
apologize.
something we're interested in or have the time for right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can use the characters if it's not for profit. Any fan work you want to do, anything you want to put in a video, as long as you're not profiting off of the IP, we love seeing your creativity. But if you monetize it, if the point of the video is, look, here's Gabby and all that.
Or you're like selling Gabby stuff. Like we make limited income from our merch, and it's the only way that we're funding our creative stuff right now. We don't have... This is our full-time job, so I'm sorry, but we have to try to keep a hold of that market.
Is it okay to use audio from your Patreon for animations, making sure not to leak it? I mean,
unfortunately, no.
They said if they don't leak it.
Oh, then what? Are you like just
As long
doing
as
it for
it's
yourself?
as long as it's still.
If Patreon stuff doesn't become public,
Do
then
what you
I
want.
guess-
Fan work. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go crazy. When did we want it to be wholesome instead of horror focused? I think it is horror. We grew up on things like Gaslight and Vertigo and Rebecca, the
Like
old school psychological.
things.
Yeah.
They didn't have to have terrible endings. They didn't lean on jump scares. It gave you a creeping sense of unease, but sometimes, you know, it had a good ending. And that was a lot of our inspiration, was that subgenre of horror.
How many different or unique rigs were utilized throughout season 1 for Gabby and Francis? And did you reuse them for certain scenes?
A lot of reuse during the letters videos because of how fast turnaround those are.
We're gonna have to go through these
Very
faster.
rudimentary rigs is the main thing.
How did we arrive at actuary for Francis's job? I don't know if I can answer that without it being a lore or character question, but the main thing is it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
How is Spooky Empire going?
Fantastic is the short answer.
And people have recognized it. It's been amazing. It's 2 Gabby cosplayers. What the heck?
And they were great ones.
They were beautiful and precious people. I love them so much.
That is a lore question.
Garfield. There's the Nocturne raid.
Oh,
Okay.
no, that was a while ago.
Oh
We gotta
no,
run.
we may have to. Were there any scrapped plot points for season 2? We can answer that after season 2.
Yeah, let's maybe go on for now, and you can re-ask a question if you didn't get an answer.
Yeah, we
the
have
next
to.
time.
We have to keep going.
Yeah, I apologize.
We
for
have a
that,
full
but
day of conventioning tomorrow. I'm so sorry,
It is
guys.
late right now. Okay, that being said, it's Easter time, y'all.
Wow.
This came out on the first Easter after season 1 as a fun random drop for people. This is our actual Easter decoration basket with a VHS tape plopped in it as a prop.
We love making props. It's really fun.
And here's just kind of a production thing that I don't see mentioned a lot, but Jonah's in a good headspace now, so the backdrop for his
Yeah.
text is white. He has a lot of clarity right now.
We loved playing with the colors for that.
And this is just the normal, like, gimmick tape that you might find in a really cheap VHS bundle of, like, it's the VHS boom. What can we put out? What can we make?
Can you hail? Of course.
And of course, Francis plays the vehicle for the lesson learning of, like, I don't know anything about Easter. Can you tell me everything?
Now we'll be using
I do have to call out a friend of ours who just texted complaining that I said it's late when it's 10 p.m. Like, oh, the night is young.
Shut up.
Leave me alone. I'm tired. I've been conventioning so much. Anyway, sorry. Commentary. I love you, Annette,
Yes.
so much. I really love calling out the kindness of the characters. So Jonah specifically saying, look how patient Gabby was. To me, it was important. Like, all of Angel Hair is about relationships in different contexts, in different eras. It's about how friends can connect and be good to each other. And I really think the Easter tape was a great opportunity to be like, hey, despite all the drama of his past, here was a highlight. Let's take a moment of calm. Let's just celebrate a little. Let's just have friend interactions.
And for the art side of things, just my sense of humor, the juxtaposition there with, like, the horrible, like, crucifixion art with blood weaving into eggs scrolling down, and then it's just rainbow.
If y'all knew how many lore questions were answered by because I thought it was funny, I think you'd be disappointed in us.
over here. See, now your hands.
And here's just more little implied moments of Gabby doesn't say, oh, you got ink on your hand.
Classic egg. Oh, Francis, you little scamp.
You little scamp. And then,
Try another one.
wait.
Yoink. Fun fact, the makeshift plant, Francis, will come with a little plush Ouroboros egg that he can hold in his little hands. So in October, when that'll go live, be sure to get yourself a little plush for Francis.
My egg of palm fronds to remind me of promises made.
Her little Easter dress is like her only ever costume change. It's just that collar. And it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
she
bring it out
dressed
the
up
goods.
nice for the holidays.
Francis didn't get the memo. That's okay. Or maybe he's wearing great shoes and you just can't see it.
It's his holiday shoes.
Look what I made, Gabby.
Next egg.
Again, for efficiency, like one backdrop, single framing, just trying to use as few assets as we can so we can get more content done, but framing the story around that because like this was a cheaply pushed out holiday tie-in.
Anyone else scared at Gabby genuinely being mad? Like, he's pushing it up.
Uh-oh. Eventually, like, Francis means well, but eventually you have to know better, you know? And then Jonah's thing of like, this is so fun, I want to show Gabby. And incoming plot hook alert. It's like, okay, we all know this scene by now. We've seen it 3 different times. Twice in the pilot, once in the finale. We know how this goes. There's the cloud and
this was also a fun moment when Nick Nocturne was streaming it, of just being like, okay, where's the ears? Where's the ears?
A lot of extremely iconic Nick Nocturne reaction moments.
We love it so much.
Fernando was able to be there for his first reaction stream with Roy Keato.
They were amazing.
Clap for the patrons.
Clap for the patrons.
Clap for the patrons.
Clap for the patrons.
They make it all happen.
Oh man. And
He's
look,
just
there's
still sitting
Rot.
there.
If anyone's tired of Angel Hair not having new episodes, catch up on Rot while you wait.
And after Easter, I think that was Easter's in April, right? And fans had to wait until September for season 2 to finally answer those questions.
We really tortured y'all, didn't we?
Uh-oh, Jonas Tex is back to being on a black screen. I don't think he's okay, y'all.
I don't think he's having a good time. Oh, I think thanks to the folks in the chat advocating for Rot. It's a series I love. It's basically the Francis videos, and that's it.
As a show.
It's
Jonah had a lot of childhood drawings of Gabby, so those were just some like refined adult ones of like, he's gotten back into his relationship with the cartoon. Fans express that a lot of ways, and Jonah's is with art.
Angel Gabby.
yeah.
Gabby.
And then I love his poor little calling. If he's just stuck there being like, ah!
And his text, Jonah's text, can be a little bit more jittery during this season because he's a little less stable. And would he have edited it that way? Probably not, but it's your only reflection of his personality, so we use little opportunities with the music cue pacing and other things to help like inform his personality some. How like a zoom will add emphasis to something or like little word colors here and there. However we can like give him his voice more personality and nuance. Like they're, off kilter, like he's not okay, guys. But uh-oh, what's different now? And this goes back to what we were saying with season 1 about each episode having like the question, the new information, and the hook. The question is, where's Gabby? The new information is, Jonah's been looking for a while now. And the hook is, who the heck is this? And I'm aware that many folks were a little concerned when they first met Zag. Some of you know, most of you know what's coming. But when we first met Zaggy,
Like, imagine before the show blew up and we were releasing these 1 week at a time and new fans and old fans were just like, wait, what? Who? What's... And
this
then they
isn't
have
my comfort character, someone help me.
And then instead of getting to immediately figure it out, you gotta wait a week before we made the next episode. And it's like, it's okay.
And then the music speeds back up some so that like your kind of excitement and heart rate and unease can go with it. And it's so fun to use the music throughout it for mood and pacing.
Here's one of my favorite parts, is Jonah's breathing in the credits. Clap for the patrons!
Clap for the patrons!
Some folks said it disturbed them in tape 6, so me and my sense of humor, I was like, oh, you didn't like that? Let me give you more. It was thematic. It was appropriate. He would be panicked. I love how it sounds, but I also get a little cheeky. I'm sorry.
And here's Jonah's reaction to it. He's not a fan either.
Look at that audience surrogate doing his thing.
Angel Saggy.
I really, really, really loved working with our voice actor, Joey Sorless, beautiful person, to recreate Gabby's lines in
the most uncaring, apathetic way possible. He's running through the numbers as low effort as he can because, like, he's here to investigate and collect information. He could care less about what the audience gets out of this, especially if there's just one guy watching instead of like a kid he might have an impression on.
And I love the attitude so much. The comparison that he just shrouds Gabby with, where it's like, dude, this guy does not belong here. And it's like, it's the same lines, more or less. So it really shows how performance and character design can affect so much.
And that's another story moment of like, Jonah has established like Gabby can hear him and see him and talk to him. So he knows this character can hear and see and talk to me and has to like act accordingly. It's not just that it's something new, it's something new that could possibly know more about you than you know about it. And like just has all this mystery of the unknown swirling around it.
And I like you having to kind of think with Jonah, where he's like, all right, I have a plan. I'm trying this, I'm trying that. Kind of like in Reflecting Season 1, he was looking into records, he was trying to dig up the production company. There are things he tried, and he's showing you how they didn't work.
So that if the audience gets these questions of, like, if I were in this situation, maybe I'd try this or this. For the most part, Jonah will bark up similar trees.
Mm-hmm. And you can, like, at least see the effort he tried to put in.
For those who caught the little one-frame line art pop there that then becomes Gabby's collage later on, we meticulously planned that out. We had a little grid of like, here's the full shape we want to make, here's where it shows up in what episode, and like line that up as we edit it so that could come together really nice at the end.
Let's start on the path.
It was really fun planting that there and being scared people. Like, some fans caught on and y'all in the server were trying to piece it together, but we threw you through a loop because later on the pieces become her wild hair design, and you're like, wait, this isn't the outline.
This doesn't match the thing I was trying to make.
Yeah.
I'm confused now.
So
because when you're in Zag's show, the superimposed line art is of her Zag version.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Zag can do things and we don't like it.
That one was really fun to design. Like, just to freak you out of like, oh, maybe they can do more in the modern day than Gabby let on.
And poor Francis just trying to like key in and get through
and record scratch.
You're the one airing this? You aren't
Love
a
it.
TV station. How are you doing this?
Zag is on to you.
Why did you put the show back on?
I really loved the tone shift here.
Because also this shows you immediately like, wait, I thought Zag like
What? All of a sudden you got
did
nothing?
something or knows something. Why is he asking so many questions? I thought he was like some evil thing in control of all this. But if he doesn't know what's going on, then what's going on?
And then you get the reveal.
I came to find her, genius.
Oh.
What are you doing?
He's on maybe not the same side, but he didn't do anything to Gabby because he's trying to find out what happened
And
to
again,
Gabby.
the setup of, here's the obvious trope of the evil thing. The colors are darker, they replaced the good things, so they must be bad. And instead, no, the evil, the villain, the uneasiness exists somewhere else.
Bonus letters, everyone's favorite part. Oh, we didn't clap for patrons. Posthumous clap for patrons.
And look, in the letter card, Gabby is gone because she's not here this season.
Yeah, her hand at the quill isn't here.
I'll be reading your
And that's a lot of mail on your floor, Francis. Were we perhaps feeling inundated at the time and wanted to reflect it visually?
Did we get a lot of questions that we had to field?
We talked more about how we field questions in the season 1 letters for people who join late, so you can go back for that.
Well, Gabby likes to spend time with her friends when she's not busy, no matter what.
I love Francis is innocuous at all. She's busy.
Leaves a lot to be desired.
And that's another, just our sense of humor is like, you lean in to be like, what is it, Francis? And he's like, she's not a good scrapbook.
Zag feet spotted. Him lurking there to be like, maybe we don't answer that question.
But we like to just play with a lot of like humor and lore drops and all kinds of. The letters videos are so fun because the stuff you guys ask can like spark things that we wouldn't have thought of. And I also love doing any like cryptic Francis art. Rachel did these like cave drawing badgers for this bit.
Anyway, I've got a letter from Carol O'Andrew.
Some people caught our reference about the whole
Thanks for
actuary thing.
It might be a Kim Possible too.
For those who know, you know.
See you later, Robin. They want to know.
That's just our childhood leaking.
I'm an expert. I can work anywhere.
I tell you, the sword isn't her only weapon. Angel Hare's
Any excuse to do more of these like medieval engraving inspired pieces of art. I really enjoy doing those, and I like the tonal effect they have on the show.
And how chipper and proud Francis is to show them off.
Yeah, that's why they featured for like a third of the music video, because I'm all here for it.
She told me that no matter why people do bad things, they've always got another chance to do better.
Oh, Francis, that's so nice.
We have one more letter here from Chuck.
And that's another thing of like, yeah, it's mostly funny, but here's them being kind to each other.
Yeah, and it just being like nice and grounded, just about relationships.
Jump scare Zach.
You know what?
And here you get a little, like some early inkling hints about the detective side of him. Is like, he's on the case now. Now that he knows he doesn't have to play a character in front of Jonah because like he knows about the streaming and stuff. He's completely dropped the act. He doesn't care.
Love it. Clap for the patrons.
And here's more venom and ad-libbing for Francis that we left in for the memes.
It's a classic.
It's a classic. And again, how short and efficient are these episodes that we're getting through them so quickly? It's a really fun writing challenge, and it helps a lot with finishing stuff to make it like really approachable in scale.
That was something I learned early on in like creative writing classes and my film writing classes. Like shorter stuff is harder to write because you don't have as much fluff. You got to get to the point, make it interesting, end it in a punchy way with so little page space to use. And I love Jonah just being like, I have no idea what's going on. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just here for it right now. I just need to figure out what Gabby's doing.
I'm not really.
And here Zag is just like tossing the room looking for clues because again, he's in mission mode now. And Francis is like, but like the show though, and here you see Zag absolutely phoning it in.
Proverbs 27:17. Work with that.
Like, can we move forward now, please?
Can we follow the formula and get to the point?
And Francis is like, that's all I want to guess, thank you.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Main Character. It was really fun going back in these scenes and like messing them up, like Gabby's little ajar cushions on the couch and everything.
I forgive you.
We will be answering questions during the playlist video at the end of the
so
season.
please hold them for that because we can't scroll back through this whole thing. We're going to start looking at them once the playlist video starts.
Yeah.
I love Jonah just being like, that's fair, I get it.
We're in the same boat. I don't like him, he doesn't like me, I get it.
It's just it's like these fun, like we say it's about relationships, and this is a fun character moment of like, when you meet someone new instead of your cozy friend group you're used to, you have that moment of like, I'm not so sure about that.
Keep it simple. This is the only style, you know.
And this, again, is giving you that foreshadow of the detective show of like, why is he pointing out a kid's show? Why is he saying like, why can't she keep it simple, blah blah? Like, what are these inferring? And then he's like, wait, 8 fingers in a tail, how do you normally look? What?
And I love the hints. It's like what we said earlier. We don't give you 4, we give you 2 plus 2. He's giving you all the context you need to be like, this dude is not normally a rabbit. But he doesn't say that out loud because that's a little more interesting.
He doesn't just say, like, I don't want to be a cartoon rabbit anymore, take me back to my show. Instead, it's like, let's go somewhere else where I have more fingers. And, like, it's just that little, it's basically telling you, but it's not, like, yeah, Rachel already said it.
And we really, really love playing with that kind of writing.
Almost.
Brace yourselves. Ready to claps?
Clap for patrons.
Clap for patrons.
Clap for patrons.
They make everything work. We appreciate y'all so much.
We don't have to spend time doing commissions to break even. It's so nice.
So nice. Oh my gosh.
And here is probably my second favorite episode maybe after tape 5.
It was so complicated but so fun.
These ones were just like the editing really comes together. Tape 5 and case 4, I could rewatch over and over again. I know some are more emotionally hitting and some are more fun, but these two are just satisfying to me. Because like now, Jonah's on the case. This is from one of our local churches that gave us permission to sneak in during music practice.
You can hear actual trumpets playing through the jazz in the background if you know where to listen. And I love the desperation of Jonah right now.
I think that was a little bit of the trumpet. It's
Yeah.
like right there
Little-
during the books, if you go back.
Yeah.
And it's like, Hare, whoa, it's a film reel of Angel Hair? Oh, it's
That's
Angel
not
Hair.
Angel Hair. Oh, I
Wait
love it
a
so
minute.
much. I have a Facebook page of film friends in our little community, and I told someone we need a film can. Does anyone
And
have that?
They also filmed that little bit for us because that's our friend's camera. So he's
Yeah.
another person who got to play Jonah's hand of like 5 different people. Because then there's someone else's hands for Jonah for the webcam, for the projector screen. And we use a digital projector for it, but like we don't have a real projector, sorry.
Yeah, it was really fun, like collaging audio from an old radio show with the jazz music and like using all of that to set up this transition
Francine!
into like where the heck are we now?
And then it's just like, oh no, what did they do to my boy?
And there's Francis doing his little.
And now instead of the chromatic aberration filter, it's a little softer, it's got the like film pops going on, there's a different approach, and instead of John Ryan's PBS work, this animation was styled more on the original Johnny Quest and stuff from that era, where it was like
all the hard
choppy,
outlines.
rose-scoped, limited animation.
Love the theme song footage. Maybe we should make a Zach Wild theme song one of these days.
Make promises you can't keep.
I said we should. I didn't say we're going to.
And this is Jonah like swallowing his discomfort a bit to be like, this is a lot of new things, but sometimes you just gotta embrace it, you know? You can't always live in your comfort zone and live in your bubble. In order to like meet new people, solve new problems, you have to take new approaches and like find out new things about yourself.
And it's okay to need help.
And that newspaper was the same paper Francis had in the Angel Hair show, except in Wild Hair now. It translated itself into the medium.
And Jonah just being like, yes, I am uncomfortable, but I need to fix this. So I'm dealing with it for a friend.
Yep.
Relationships. It's a show about relationships. Giving back when folks gave to you.
Again, we're gonna answer questions during the playlist video.
Yeah, so hold until then, because we need to focus and roll.
We also need to sleep for another day of convention tomorrow.
Yep.
I love those expressions.
Love
we
the
have
stare.
that Francis face as an emote in the Discord server.
And this one's cliffhanger being from Jonah for once. Instead of him being surprised, he surprises the others. Clap for the patrons.
Clap for the patrons. I just put in a link for our Discord server for anyone who's not in that.
Come say hi, hang out.
We're chilling there.
Oh, don't, wait. Sorry. I needed to hit
Don't autoplay another Red Letter Media video, please.
Don't show off our trash YouTube
And now
tapes.
it's time for Letters with Fran who?
Not Gabby still. Whoops.
Because why would we do the same thing 4 times when we could change it up?
This video took so long to make.
This might be the longest video of the whole thing because there are no cutaways. It's just non-stop Francine animation, hand-drawn. And like,
Every frame of the arms, every frame of the
if you were there for it in
hands.
real time, we delayed the next episode by a week so that we could work on this longer instead of having to rush it. And it's still like pretty limited and choppy and jank. Which
did as much as
lends
we
itself to the cheap old medium of them having to make quick, choppy TV productions. But it was a lot of work.
It was fun. I love it, but holy cow, did it take us a long time.
Francine is a treat, y'all.
Daniel Ford, amazing voice actor, so versatile.
We
He's
did
really a treat.
a stealth audition on the Discord server. We were like, we need a receptionist, and that was before anyone knew anything about season 2. So it's like, human receptionist, what? And I think Daniel's the only person who auditioned, but they also knocked it out of the park.
Maybe they were. We were
was-
smaller back then.
I think it might have been the only one because I was a little nervous.
But they were amazing. It's just iconic, perfect voice.
Mm-hmm.
And the innocuous. Oh, there was another outline glitch.
Yeah,
of
if you saw
Gabby's
that one
form.
frame thing, at that time it was of her wild hair variant instead of her bunny self. So
Really?
the people trying to puzzle it together got a little vexed when it wasn't the same shape anymore.
We really mixed them up a little bit.
Letters from Miss to McJohnson meme Junior.
I love this joke so much. It's season 2's Doom Gamer.
Is that your question,
This
Nate?
time Francine owns up to it. She's not as polite as Francis.
Everyone in town knows a poker dealer.
I love it because there's the deep unsettling fear of our friend is gone, what are we gonna do, but we still like adding a little bit of humor. It's just a
palate
palate
cleanser.
Yeah.
Which is just nice.
It's really nice when we're fielding questions and we get to one we're like, okay, that can be a little funny too. This will add while also letting us amuse ourselves. Everything we make is just, do I like it? Other people, maybe they'll happen to like it, but I need to like it first.
Bye, Francine.
Bye, Francine.
Wait, oh, not quite. Hold. Wait for it. Clap for patrons.
Clap for the patrons.
Thank
You'll
you, guys.
notice the list has gotten longer. That's our first
$50 patron was Monty.
our first outstanding support slide. That was such a big deal. It still is.
Oh, it's more jazz music now because we're still not in Kansas anymore.
But we
Oldies,
finally
that's
see
English
we
game.
finally see Gabby again. It's case 5. And now we finally get to see Gabby, the titular Hare.
And it's like this sort of dark night of the soul bit for Jonah of like, because you see some doubt in him here. I think it's his moment in a second of like, she's here for me. She like wouldn't just take off.
And you notice he finds the solution by trusting that, no, she's my friend. Like, he does have the moment of doubt, but he resolves it to end up figuring out how they move on by saying, this is like her. This should work because I trust my friend. Relationships. It's a show about relationships.
Oh boy, that boy's committed long streaming.
I love how everyone talks about the power bill of like that many hours.
So many people are like, how does Jonah fund this? Here's the moment of doubt. It's like, it's because she can't, but then it's like, right? Of like, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't. I don't think she would.
And then you have the moment of self-blame, like, did I mess up? Should I still fix this if it were my fault? Things people go through,
Yeah. Because, like, imagine if one of your friends just suddenly ghosted you and now you're just left with, like, can I fix it? Should I fix it? If I want to fix it, how do I fix it?
It's really tricky sometimes.
Yeah. It's like a very sort of character emotions driven story, and some people are about like, what about the lore and about this thing? It's like, it's about the characters.
There's
So we follow them.
another new actor for Jonah's hands.
The jukebox unfortunately stopped working. There's a bug with it we have to fix mechanically, and very few repair people. So we had to ask a couple family and friends, like, did you ever get some video of this back when it was working?
We use that.
But also, the oldies are back. There's some optimism. The team's rallying for Gabby.
And this is the first time Jonah has like said we instead of there's me and there's Zaggy. Now it's we. They're a unit. They're a
We're
team.
a team now.
Us fellas.
Slightly more shorthand for the live stream there, instead of each of those being a Twitch window. It's like, we have to get this visual across in 2 seconds. Let's just put live in the corner.
And that's something we didn't touch on. We love researching style, but more than anything, we go for immersion. Accuracy is great, but up until it interrupts you. So we skipped the accuracy of having like a Twitch screen on every computer for just getting by with the immersion
Visual
of...
shorthand that will give you the information you need, instead of like these cluttered windows with HUDs and stuff. And it's like, is that OBS?
Yeah, it gets the point across, we move on. In these later shots, you don't even see the live thing because you've understood it.
Yeah. Here's Jonah, like, kind of sitting with this and confronting it a bit more, and Zag, like, stonewalls him a bit. That's Zag's character. He's still a little apprehensive. He'll work with this guy, but they're not friends.
And again, audience surrogate. Y'all had a lot of questions, and we wanted to use the time in the
And Zag's
script.
answer?
Really ask. Did you want
Listen to Zag, guys.
Yeah. Are these things important? And Jonah's like, you know what? In the grand scheme of things, if I had to pick between answers and having her back, like, everyone's got their past. Who she is now is who I want back, and I don't need details and answers. And then it's like, wait, what's happening here? Why is her face, huh?
And then
the beautiful reveal of all of those one-frame little flashes through every episode, which it was really fun watching Wendigoon livestream, because the second it showed this, he paused it, went back to take 2, found the exact moment, and was like, it was there the whole time. Which was extremely satisfying for us to watch as a reaction.
Clap for the patrons.
Clap for patrons.
Clap for patrons.
They make it happen. They're the real ones.
This was a scary hook for us because we revealed it, but we didn't explain it yet. So we had to leave people confused for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And we were very kind of insecure about if our explanation would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really easy. She's transposed between too many screens on the internet, trying to help too many people on this waveform she's not used to, and she's getting physically torn apart and stretched too thin to react to someone in a one-on-one scale.
As you do.
As
That's
you
the problem,
do,
guys. But so there was a lot of little bit of fiddling. We finished the animation for this, and we're then still editing Jonah's exact wording of things. Mm-hmm. To make sure that it doesn't over-explain, but it still gets the point across.
I think the most last-minute editing we did on Jonah's text was the one right before this, with why, what the plan was and why that would work. We were really struggling with until almost the last minute.
And here's Zag and Francis doing what they think they can, and then Jonah answers because he's part of the team now. So when she asks them, "Where are you?" he's like, "Yeah, we're over here," and she's like, "Oh, you're here too." And she realizes she left him suddenly, and she feels bad about that. And Zag is like, "He's fine."
Yeah.
He's not the one trapped right now.
And that's a relationship thing we really liked playing with, was she's so used to being the caretaker that even though she's the one in trouble, she jumps to, "Oh, Jonah, I need to come for you, I need to be supportive, I need to make sure you're okay." And Zag is immediately like, "What are you talking about? He's an adult now. Let's
A lot of this season was about shifting the relationship from Jonah is my kid who needs help to we're peers, we can lean on each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
how does that shift happen? Mm-hmm. How do you go from this is my caretaker to I'm helped now, this is my friend?
And this moment was really fun in our episode reveal watch party because Jonah obviously is I'm not a kid who needs help. There are kids who need help. I'm in the way. I'm a burden. And a lot of people can feel that way about their friends sometimes. They're like, "Do you really like being around me? Am I just an inconvenience to you?" And,
It's true that
communication. Jonah expresses that instead of just sitting with it.
It's a trope I really hate in movies, when something could be solved just by people talking to each other.
So our characters talk to each other a lot.
They talk to each other, and look how nice it is.
And Jonah's like, "Hey, I believed in you the whole time, and that's what fixed the problem too." That was an animation error in the background. Jolting a little when Zag moves.
That's the nice thing about referencing styles that inherently have TV errors, is that when we mess up, it fits.
Also, went back to jazz music for a little when it went to the Wild Hare screen.
Yeah, they're kind of shifting the tone between when Zag talks and wants things to be serious, and when Gabby's talking again and wants to try and inject that old relationship before things switch.
Because it's both shows now, and you have to navigate between them. Mm-hmm. You have to be adaptable in your friendships. You can't be away with one friend in the same way with another. We're all different people that are going to communicate differently, and we have to learn each other.
I needed you too.
What?
And here's where she's saying, how about we change things up?
How about you can take care of me and I can take care of you?
Let's be peers. Let's have a more equal exchange in this relationship.
Custom theme song music by Matt Davies on Fiverr.
And we reflect season 1 again. By this time, he offers his hand and she joins it instead of her offering hers and his hand. And it's beautiful. It shows the shift of where they stand.
And the Angel Hair theme song that you got one still frame of in season 1 when he was researching the company. Claps for patrons!
Claps for patrons!
Claps for patrons!
Love to see it.
Just amazing. You guys humble us so much. It's just incredible.
And that probably doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it probably doesn't mean anything. Next playlist, Q&A is back open. Start asking questions, guys. That was our commentary.
Yeah, please ask us
Quick
questions.
guideline.
Oh, they had them
We
ready.
don't answer lore questions or character questions. So if you're like, what happened in Jonah's past? Or what's Gabby's favorite fruit? That's not going to get answered.
I can't read them all out loud. I have to just vet. So if yours wasn't asked, it's probably because it falls under one of those two things.
So we will answer production, art, behind the scenes, any of those kinds of questions. So if it's like about the in-universe cartoon, or like what time period did it take place in, that's lore questions.
What was it like seeing season 2 come to a close and seeing the audience expand so much?
Pretty crazy. We had to switch our watch parties to Twitch because we used to have them in our Discord server.
And we found out that
big.
you can't use your camera if too many people are in a Discord call. Our audience expanding from Angel Hare to upcoming projects? Well, on every video that's not Angel Hare, people keep asking, why is this not Angel Hare? So there's that.
Have embraced Ra, and we love it. We're gonna do whatever we find fun, so you can keep asking for more Angel Hare, and we'll keep doing whatever we want.
For human designs of Gabby and Francis, did it take iterations, or did we find it easily? They were pretty straightforward.
They were pretty straightforward. I had a decent picture in mind for what kind of adorable dope Francis would be, and yeah.
When you came up with Francis as a character, was he always intended to be as real as Gabby? Oh, sorry, that is a lore question. Gotta skip it, my bad. Can you expand a little more on some writing tips for writing shorter media?
Yes, keep things as implied as possible. Keep like dialogue snappy. For every scene you have, ask what were the main questions about if a scene's important?
Yeah, does it add something new? Gosh, it was in one of my script writing books. Story by Rob McKee, I think, is a really, really good book. And it's just this list of like, is it adding something new? Is it answering a question or something else I can't remember?
Basically, is it useful to the plot, or did you like want to add this for fun?
And
is there a different scene that this is redundant to that gave people the same information?
Going through every single line, answering those questions really helps you cut the fat and focus on what's important.
The bare minimum the audience needs?
Will extra Kickstarter items ever be available again? We're working on some of them, not all of them will be possible. The VHS case will become a DIY
we'll always
kit.
Announce it everywhere when something is.
Yeah, we really need to focus on getting shipping off of us so we can focus on telling more stories. Was the ending influenced by the strong personal reception we got?
I don't think we really let reception influence things. We really keep stories to the kinds of plots and things that we resonate with and that we like to see.
How did Russian subtitles affect the viewer count?
We don't have great statistics for that. It's not our second most viewed country analytically, so
but
I'm not
it's like
totally
in
sure
the top
how-
10. So
Yeah. We don't have specific stats on that.
do we have a favorite background drawing? The butterfly?
The butterfly field from the end of season 1, and I also like all of the wild hair stuff. It was really fun to do. Which a lot of those, not all of them, but a lot of background art is available full res on Patreon.
How much time did it take? The writing can take months. The actual animation is
Month and
pretty
a half?
quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we all, like the rigs and everything, we designed the styles to be efficient. What's the name of the IRL cat in season 1?
Sorry, I saw a name joke our friend put in the server.
His name is Flack. He's an old gentleman, still alive, kicking, only just. He loves
He's
his
getting
life.
up there. He's slowing down a bit, but my gosh, he's still tenacious.
Are there other styles of animation we would like to try? So many. And join our Patreon
Yeah, we
for
did new
clues.
stuff for Rot. We did new stuff for Kind World. Some of our shorts are different. I love experimenting. I love the visual research element of it. It's great.
Did we consider other genres for Zag instead of noir pulp detective?
It was pretty much always that.
Yeah. Did we think Angel Hare would be as big as it is now?
Absolutely
No.
not.
Are you kidding me?
Zero
No.
chance.
No.
We do a lot of expectation management. Don't come into YouTube trying to be big. You have to do it because you love it, and then maybe you'll get lucky, but you can't engineer it.
All right. If we ever need other voice actors, join our Discord server or follow us on Twitter or look at our YouTube community posts. In the Discord server, we have a ping roll specifically for when we have auditions, so you'll be notified. So here is the link to the Discord server. Unless I misspelled it.
Overgrowth already did.
Okay. Join it. Get the
You
roll.
mod Overgrowth, you're amazing.
Yeah. Which model of Gabby is our favorite?
Model as in
the show? Angel Hare.
Yeah.
I love
cute.
her wild hair form. She's so cute. But yeah. Did every story element we had in mind have clear directions or some ambiguous left to interpretation, even in production? We have answers for everything.
So
We
that
just
the
don't show them.
continuity can be consistent. We have like our own answers for stuff so that it can stay consistent throughout the writing. But yeah.
How are you so far? Make sure to hydrate. Thank you. Let me see. Why is Human Francis dripped out? I mean, because it's fun to draw.
Well dressed. Also, some questions we skipped, we might have answered them in the first playlist videos Q&A.
Oh
check
yeah,
back
sorry for the point redemptions to pet the cat.
We have the plushies here to pet.
Yes, we're
It's,
off-site, we're across the state, our usual setup is not
The
here.
cat is several hours away from me right now.
Yes. Was there ever any concern that producing several different kinds of show meant we'd get buried by the algorithm? I didn't really care about the algorithm. I knew people who came for Angel Hair would not care as much about Rot. Its audience is much smaller. I don't care. I like Rot.
Yeah.
I make everything for me.
Right now, we're lucky enough to have a big enough Patreon that we don't have to rely on the YouTube ad revenue, which is much smaller than what we get from Patreon anyway. So we make what we like, and if it gets less views, I'm in a privileged enough situation right now that I can let the art make my decisions instead of the money, which is, like, we're incredibly blessed for that. What's next? Zag does just call Francis Chief as part of his nomenclature. Like,
That's a
when
lore
he's, like,
question you just
he's
answered
for-
for him.
I didn't say whether to...
We already answered what art style motivated it. You can go back to the first Q&A portion. What's the best way of keeping track of all your ideas involving a project? We have a Discord server just for the two of us, where we have channels for every show idea we have, and whenever we come up with anything, we write it down. So we can loop back to it, decide if we like it or not, but we write all of it down. We save everything, even if later we decide it wasn't a good idea. We keep it there just in case. What was the process for designing the different styles for characters in the different parts of the show?
Just what we thought would be fun.
Yeah. What is Rot about? I haven't watched it yet. The intro video, Rot 0, will explain what it's about.
Yeah, it's succinct and explains the whole thing, but it's all based on audience interaction.
Is it challenging getting all the monitors to sync up in case 5 and 6?
Yes.
Lots of play,
Pause. Play.
pause.
Wait, is this one ahead of that one, or is that one ahead of this one? It wasn't super fun.
But, it didn't take us too many tries.
No.
Thank you, Overgrowth. Be sure to join the Patreon. We appreciate everybody so much. Would we ever consider doing 3D animation in the future? Part of Rot is 3D, if you want to check it out.
But I haven't learned it, so we would have to outsource that, and that would be expensive. So I like to keep to what we can do cheaply, which means what I can do myself. So it depends.
Thank you, Dire Beast Rex. I'm so glad we could inspire you. That means so much. I wish I could linger on that, but we got
I
to
saw it pet the cat.
Inspiration for what drove us to create it, we answered, and we have a much longer answer for that in the Discord server that we can, I think it's pinned,
Yeah,
but
we
you can
always
find
answer
that.
questions in there all day long too. when
Yeah,
we don't
join
have
the server.
conventions and stuff.
If we ever made a third season, we're not, right, we're focusing on other things.
Yeah.
This isn't a lore question, since there are angel foxes, could there be other angel animals? I think that is a lore question.
We actually get to decide that. Thank you.
Thank you, Nickel. You're so dang sweet. I really appreciate it. Have we played the game Faith? No, but I've watched John Wolfe play it, and it's really, really cool.
Not all of the parts. We saw the first installment.
Do I like Jesus? I sure
We're both
do.
Southern Baptist ourselves.
Yes, we are Southern Baptists.
Ooh, are we about to be caught up? That's
Thank you, the
cool.
Cybird, for the Prime sub. I really appreciate you. Was Zag always going to be a bunny, or were there
Yes.
other considerations? No, always going to be a bunny. Do we
Bunnies are
have
cute.
a favorite analog horror series? Children Under the House was pretty cool.
Yeah, Children of the House is neat.
I thought its format was really interesting.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I haven't fully seen through a lot of the bigger name ones.
Thoughts on the FNAF Angel Hair fan game that's in the works? We love fan games. I think it's a really cool idea. I hope I get to play it. How old is too old for cartoon rabbits? It depends on who you're asking.
To you.
Is it possible for an Angel Hair linked visual novel game?
It's always possible.
Yes or no question, would you consider making an official green-lighted fan game adaptation of Angel Hair? If the former, what genre would you make?
Genre? Like
I mean,
we made adventure.
We made the Activity Center game.
Yeah.
But I love point and clicks. They have a special place in my heart. What questions constitute as lore and character?
Like, what happened to Jonah? What year did the show take place in? What's Gabby's favorite food?
We caught up to the questions. Have you already planned out most of the story for Rot, or are you still thinking
We
about
have
it?
the next 4 cases planned out, and I'm very excited for all of them.
Very excited.
There's other stuff that's longer term we're working on behind the scenes that's making it a little slower, but we're very excited.
We have great ideas, and we're really, really excited. You're never too old for cartoon rabbits. All right, we're caught up. We can breathe a little. Nope, new one. How many passes did the season 2 script get compared to season 1?
Season 1 was a little bit, like, after the outline was done, first pass, and then a little bit of tweaking.
Yeah.
Season 2, each episode, I think, got maybe, like, 1 full rewrite. And not, like, full as in from scratch, but just, like, reapproaching the structure based on the outline. Because we have it we use Lucid Chart, and we'll just write it in block text in a thing, and if we want to make big changes, we'll just duplicate it down, and season 1 is 1 line, and season 2 is a couple and a half lines.
I will say that the concept for series 2 was... It took a lot of turns from our first... Like I said earlier, we knew Gabby would go missing. The why, the what happens...
Yeah, we were fairly certain it would be because of the broader scope of the internet and more people having needs that she's used to having to deal with.
A big story question we needed resolved was what would make her leave and not tell Jonah?
Yeah.
Because she didn't seem like the person that would just disappear if she willingly left and not tell her friend, hey, I have to go. Like, going without goodbye meant there had to be some unwilling element of it, and figuring that out was a little complicated.
Yeah, because at first we were like, oh, maybe she just finds one specific kid that needs attention. It's like, then she could have just told Jonah BRB back in 15.
Alright. Might be stupid, but how would the characters react to brain rot? That's a character question, sorry. Why is
his favorite food? We're not going to answer it. We want you to be able to interpret it yourself.
Yeah, why is Jonah's surname Whitman? Because?
Lore question?
Our plushies arrived and they're so cool, thank you. Aren't they great? Aren't these guys... High five, crew! We did a good job.
We're going to try to get ordering returned later this year in a more efficient way so we don't have to... Right now... Like, imagine if one day 2,000 plushies were just on your porch and you had to mail them to 2,000 different people. What would you do next? We had to find out the answer to that question, and we're a team of 2. We had to find out how many can fit in our car, and we had to find out how to schedule USPS pickup, and all this logistical nonsense. So, Fulfillment Center, we're finding a better way before we do it again, but we really want to do it again.
Yeah, what part of Angel Hair, or what results from it, are we especially proud of?
It's incredibly humbling how much it's meant to people. We couldn't have predicted, because everything we make because we find it fun or interesting, or it's something we want to see more of, and we couldn't have predicted the impact it would have.
There's long answers to that question, but yes, basically, the impact it had on folks, the people who've told us that it revitalized their relationship with religion, their relationship with their childhood, just them as a person and the positive attitude they take forward in life now, it's overwhelming. It's really, really overwhelming. I'm gonna get emotional if I talk about it too much longer, so I gotta move on. Was Zaggy supposed to have Inspector Gadget vibes? Not particularly. Where did the idea of blending live action and animation come from? Did we enjoy one aspect better than the other? Was one more difficult than the other?
Animation is easier because you can control more of it, but for the live action, like, Jonah is a character, and his, like, camera POV sort of is a really easy way to, like, get inside his head.
Yeah, and it's just fun. Since Gabby is an artist, do you think she likes illustrated Bibles? That's a character question. If an Angel Hair visual novel would be made, what would our vision about a game like that be?
I'd have to think on that more. That's a bit of a longer one.
Definitely something, again, just to do with relationships. Like the mechanics, everything at its core would be, how are you treating people? I think that would be interesting. It just fits the themes really well. I'm trying to read us about our car's extended warranty.
Thank you.
Do you have tips for script writing? What software do we use? So for writing Angel Hare, we use Lucidchart because we can break it into chunks for the episodes. For my script writing, I use Final Draft. It's an industry standard thing. And for writing, like book-wise, Save the Cat is a great one. Story by Robert McKee is a great one. And really just research the stories you like. Go to the shows you enjoy and ask yourself, why do you enjoy them? Is it the pacing? Is it what the characters are doing?
Outline the scenes as you watch it. See why they put it in that order, like what scene informs the next, when they decide to like switch from an A plot to a B plot. Like just start analyzing stuff.
Yeah, when we were looking, when we knew we were doing noir stuff, I started watching just a lot of random noir movies off of Amazon, and I would just doodle compositions. Like as I was watching it, I would just sketch, here's where the character is in the frame, here's how they're sitting, here's how the lighting cuts off this part of the screen, and just research what you enjoy, and it will help you build an idea of the formulas
and
of what
really
you would
study
do.
why you enjoy it. Like start consuming things from an analytical point of view.
We just asked the illustrated Bible question. You can stop asking. I love you so much. So. Will there be an Angel Hare cookbook?
We did not use a GoPro. We used our smartphones for all of these. So just whichever phone we had at the time. That's
it changed a bit. How did we feel about the end of season 2 compared to 1? How do we feel about the difference in styles?
My take is season 1 is a mystery, season 2 is a drama, and I like them both as different creatures.
Can we expect to see more in-universe merch? You're a sucker for those kind of things. Like the Wreath of Life hat, I love it to death. I don't know. I'm not sure what else particularly. We love coming up with ideas, and we love people giving us ideas. I love buying my own merch, so... Who's winning the poker game? I think it's so slow because we had to drag it out. This was my fault. This took so long to make. I really thought it was a cute idea.
I wanted to do a 5-second loop like the record show.
I watched someone play poker in Red Dead Redemption 2 and just copied the moves people were doing because I don't know how to play poker. But it had to be a really slow game so that it could last as long as the playlist needed to.
Specifically for Wild Hare, we were inspired by the original Johnny Quest cartoon, so early Hanna-Barbera, yes, for that question.
DJ, we already told you. If we have news about crowing, we'll tell you. I'm sorry. Old game we made for a game jam. Can we ask questions about Rot? What's your favorite part of that series?
We have another... That many minutes? Like 9? Because once this Q&A is done, we're going to wrap up fairly quick because we have another day of convention tomorrow before we get to drive home.
How are you two? Nothing Angel Hare related, just how have you been? So tired, so busy, but absolutely loving every single day.
Good kind of busy is my answer for that, yes.
Would you ever consider listing all the resources and software you used? In a dream scenario, once we have the time, we would love to do a complete walkthrough of our production process of like how we find our voice actors, what software we use, the books I read, the storyboarding references we try and get.
If you just want to go into our Discord and ask us, we're in there a lot and we can be more detailed.
Are Angel Hare and Rot in the same universe? No. Not everything's about Angel Hare, guys. You're gonna have to move on.
It's okay. Sometimes we have other fun ideas. It's okay if you don't like them, but we like them, so we're gonna spend time on
Did we meet
those.
other content creators at the con that you thought were cool? So, we're wearing sweaters that I really love by these beautiful people who are our new...
again, so I get it right.
They're our new best friends, honestly.
Our convention best friends. We have many best friends.
We put the website in chat earlier, but we can do it again.
Yeah. They're also just incredibly sweet people, so it'd be nice to them, give them a lot of money. I have to go slow so that I spell it right.
So we met them. We met cosplayers who were amazing. We met a Twitch streamer who gave us this microphone for the night to use for this stream.
Since we forgot to bring anything, because this is a rushed but fun anniversary party.
Everyone was beautiful,
It was so
honestly.
nice.
There was a professional horror author whose booth was next to us, and we gave him a card the first day with the URL that took him to the playlist. The second day, he came and said, "Hey, I watched it. I do horror for a living. What y'all are doing, this is really good."
And it's just like,
I almost cried in front of this stranger I've never met before.
he's
Him
been a
saying
really nice
that,
booth neighbor. Everyone at the convention is so cool.
but that meant so much to
I'm
me.
really bad with names, so anyone in the Discord who gets to me later can learn who he is. He makes, he has a lot of really cool, like, varied.
People, more than one, are saying they'd love an Angel Hare themed deck of cards. We can do that, I think.
Give me an excuse, I'll make more of any kind of
Do you
card.
know what cost us thousands of dollars when we were doing the Kickstarter? Was someone deciding
every backer for 100,000
that
K
every
stretch goal.
backer for our 1,000K stretch goal should get a free set of 10 trading cards each?
It was
And I
fun.
love y'all. It was so fun.
It was
Man,
fun.
that was a beefy gift.
It was fun. You're welcome, it was fun.
Is that Kagayama? It is.
It's my new website, that's what it was
Yeah,
gonna be.
yeah. Mob Psycho and Attack on Titan were the two we got. Their sweaters were beautiful. We can't answer that question.
We don't answer lore questions, guys. Lore and character questions.
Benny boy, yeah, that's
Questions.
my mic. Thank you so much, man.
Incredible.
Will there ever be a stream where we answer lore and character questions?
Probably
Why
not.
would you want us to ruin that for you?
Yeah, isn't it more fun to think it up for yourself? Why do you want to just be handed that? That's boring.
What is your favorite media cartoon not made by ourselves, of course? That is a good question.
Our favorite what cartoon?
Just media.
Oh.
Our favorite cartoon media. That's a really hard question. I am a sucker, and you'll know why immediately. For the original, like Batman the Animated Series, Noir for Kids. Oh my gosh, my childhood is
beautiful.
that show.
Guy breaking into an office with a frosted glass window that says whose office it is, and then he rifles through a filing cabinet wearing a bat costume. Peak.
Absolutely peak.
And it in Justice League and stuff, like the plot lines, like respected kids' intelligence.
Oh, lots of pet the cats.
Oh.
The cat is not here. We're off site. We're hours from home, but we have plushes. They can high five. Go team! Someone asked earlier if we could make them kiss.
Are they? I don't know.
Oh dear.
They
What
don't
are
like
you-
each other.
No, they
Come
don't.
on, they're professionals, guys.
They're coworkers, people. Come on.
Get
come on.
over yourself.
You like to imagine what it'd be like if Gabby helped Mob.
That's really sweet.
I think he'd help her too, honestly.
Gabby would join the Body Improvement Club.
What's something you consumed lately that's left a strong impression on you? I loved the Australian horror movie Talk to Me. The one
That's
with the
really good.
hand.
Mhm.
That was really, really good.
Yeah.
The themes and
Very above average for like the marketing could give you the impression, oh, it's another haunted thing show, but the writing is just much better. And like there were moments they could have done a blah jump scare, but they didn't. They just let you be unnerved,
That
and
was
they didn't
lovely.
lean on cheap tricks like that. And it's great. They did clever stuff with it. It was fun. And I can't think of anything else right now. Cause as soon as you tell me, think of a book, any book, I'm like, I don't know.
Have I ever read in my life? Actually, Agatha Christie's On Then There Went On is pretty good. The plushies will be available again. On our plushie ad video, there's a link to a mailing list you can join to be notified once they will be available again. And the biggest thing is, we found a fulfillment center so that we're not the ones shipping it, so you'll get them a little faster than
We
the
have,
poor
like,
folks waiting.
3 more minutes, guys. Who's gonna stay to the very end when we have to say goodnight? We're on the last song. This is cute. Last questions.
Last
Correction
questions.
behind the scene
Get them
questions.
in there.
Anything.
How long did it take us to sync the moments of Gabby and Francine to cross over? So fun fact, just for this scene, those are not actually displayed on the monitors. We
Yeah.
took a photo of the monitors, cut them out, and put these on it because we knew that would be way too
Yeah,
hard.
for all
to
the
do.
other scenes of the monitors, it's in real time, but for this one, we didn't post.
Sorry.
You can see a little bit of the masking edge on
A
the
teeny
inside
bit.
edge of the angel hair
You
screen.
can see the
especially,
pixels.
But
Because it would have been too hard. It would have just been too
sometimes,
hard.
you know, instead of accurate, you just gotta get the point across.
Who drew the sketches in episode 1 of season 2? We drew everything you see on screen. So.
If you mean Francis's art, that was me.
He said episode 1. So like
Oh, episode sketches.
of season 2? Oh, the Jonah ones. Yeah, that was a
mostly
combination.
Rachel. I did the little Francis.
When did we decide to be animators?
I switched from funeral science to graphic design as a major, and then in a web design class, I took, they had a GIF project that made me animate, and then I fell in love with it. Rachel never decided. She has a master's in screenwriting, and I dragged her into it.
I learned looking over her shoulder, and I've been picking it up well. We've both always been artists. My bachelor's is in fine arts. I've always been drawing and taking photos and everything.
Ace Twitch, that's a lore question. We don't answer story-related stuff, and also I feel like we told that part of the story to the extent that we had to tell it.
I don't think we'll make an angel hair cookbook because I'm not good at recipes. Sorry. I'm sure our mom would love to make one. Final comment, everyone involved is amazing and to be appreciated for their part.
And right as the theme song starts, how cute!
I'm gonna turn the volume up a little bit.
Yes, just a little.
What count?
Thank you so much to all the voice actors, to all the patrons, to people who aren't a patron but just engage with the community, because that helps so much. Favorite Craig McCracken cartoon? That includes Danny Phantom, right? If I'm remembering who Craig McCracken is correctly. I'm not good with names, so ask me later on the Discord. I'll have a better answer. Happy 2-year anniversary, everybody! 2 years of angel hair!
This is so
Yay!
crazy! I appreciate
This
it
is
so
amazing.
much.
We've been
Francis?
humbled.
Is that my mail?
We've been humbled and overwhelmed and never thought, like, this whole snowball of success has happened since October, and we've just been sprinting to keep up with it, and you guys have just been amazing to us and supportive of us, and it's been beautiful to be able to do this full time and just work on what we love. It's amazing.
Really is. That's so special to us. Let me just get our last little talkie time ready.
Angel Gabby. Oh, Angel Gabby.
Feathers all around me.
Good morning, Francis. I'd love to hear you call.
Could it be
Have you
an
brought any
angel's
friends with
wings?
you?
Could
Yes,
it be
but I'm fearful,
her
Angel Gabby. I
love?
never know what to say.
Help me, angel hair. If I have faith, don't leave me alone. Save me, angel hair. When I'm in danger, visit my home.
So happy to see
Precious
you.
Avenger, please visit me.